I work for AmeriCorps and Western Illinois University. They have their early childhood literacy program, and I'm an early childhood literacy aide through that. So I work at a local child care center about 3 to 4 days a week. I do literacy activities with the kids and just work on building those foundational literacy skills and get them ready for kindergarten. I have a bachelor's degree from Western in liberal arts, an emphasis in psychology and English. And then I am a current master's student at Western. I'm getting my master's degree in mental health counseling. So this was just an opportunity to work with children, my first job working with children, but it's been really enjoyable and I feel like I've really grown a lot. I think probably the biggest way that I've learned while working in early childhood education is by asking questions of the veteran staff and teachers that I work with. They're always willing to share advice. That's honestly probably how I've learned the most, is to ask questions. They always have different information to share. And the center I work at has a lot of trainings that I've gone to too, which I think is really helpful. I really like that the AmeriCorps program offers the opportunity to come out in the community and do volunteer events in the community. And I think that that is one way that I've enhanced my education in the field. And I feel like in that aspect I have taken a leadership role and kind of tried to expand what I've learned or been doing in the classroom into the larger community. I love the children. I really love working with the children. They are just so curious about everything. And it's really wonderful to watch that curiosity grow. You have to keep up with that energy level. They're always moving, they're always exploring, they're always testing their limits, and they're always testing your limits. While they do have high energy levels, sometimes they move a little slower sometimes to do certain things, and you just have to work with that and be patient and understanding. Children are going to be hungry, they're going to be tired. They may not be able to verbally explain that to you very well. So you just have to be really understanding that they are young. And also I think I'm a really positive person, and I think that children are very intuitive and they feed off that positivity. So I think being positive, just coming in the morning and having a positive attitude really helps, sets the tone for the whole day. Children are really observant. I think that they learn from role models, from key figures. And I think that they learn through that social interaction, that hands-on, I think is really important. Children want to do things. They want to touch things and put things together. But also I think that they learn from watching the adults in their lives. And so I guess I would think that social learning, that would be my teaching philosophy. Get them out, get them outside, and let them interact with each other, let them interact with different adults. I think that that's really important. Providing children with quality early childhood education, it kind of sets a foundation or builds a foundation for that lifetime, love of learning. If you help children learn at a young age that school is fun, school is a positive environment, it's okay to be curious, it's okay to learn, it's okay to want to read, I think that will carry over not only into elementary school, but into, secondary school. I think just being honest with parents and being pretty open. Here's the concerns that we're having in our, and that we're seeing, and parents can share what they're seeing at home, or being able to just talk about good things. We saw, your child do this today. Just keeping that honesty there keeps the communication open. And I think that that's probably key to establishing that collaborative relationship, which is super important. You have to be able to really listen to what they're sharing with you and be able to respond to that. I think that if you communicate openly, if you really listen, then that will build that trusting relationship. They have to trust you. And I think that by listening, by communicating, by being open, by being honest, that builds that trust. I think the biggest challenge, hands down, is funding. Where I work at a grant-funded center, grant-funded and then state-funded, and it's really hard to continue to implement that quality early childhood education when funding is limited. So I think that's probably one of the biggest challenges. Also, I do think that diversity is wonderful, but we do have a lot of students that have language barriers and some cultural barriers, and I think that will be a challenge that we will continue to have to work with. You have to be open to children's learning abilities. Some children learn different things faster than others, so you really have to be understanding and able to work within the different learning abilities of the children. And like I said, just being really positive and optimistic. There are going to be days where it's really stressful, especially if there's a holiday party or anything like that. Any change, children, they don't handle change well, and you just have to be pretty optimistic and patient and positive. I would want the community to know that early childhood education is absolutely vital. You aren't just playing, like they're learning, and you're setting them up with those skills that they need to be successful adults. You really are. That foundation is key. It's absolutely key to helping children succeed. And it's really challenging, but it's challenging in a good way. And it really does change, not even your interactions, but also your interactions with other people too. That patience that you learn when you're with 20 kids, that does transfer over into your interactions with adults too. And I think that's something you don't realize, that patience is there. And so I would just let them know that it's really rewarding and it's really fun. I mean, what other job do you get to play with toys and sing songs and dance and go on field trips? I mean, it makes you feel like a kid again. Yeah, I never thought I would want to work with young children, but now I do. Like, I really like children, and that is something that surprised me.